What is this archaic system?
Mother's maiden name? Leibowitz?
You're telling me this guy is how things get verified.
That's my job.
I'm just saying, you shouldn't have to buy $10 worth of gum if you just want 79 cents worth of gum. Why do you get charged your money to take your money from your account? And if you're out of money, they charge you for being out of money?
What?
An overseas transfer takes 5 days?
Business days.
Why?
What are they using? A Zeppelin?
I deposit the check Monday.
But Monday was a bank holiday.
Why is this the way it is?
A bank holiday?
This system
What's a bank holiday?
makes no sense.
This makes no sense.
Who designed this system?
Ma'am?
Is this really the best we can do?
Hello?
Don't we deserve better?
Hey everybody, Kriss here. That's a commercial and a commercial. Yeah, that's a little Bitcoin thing there. It was a fun little ad that someone put together for Bitcoin, and like the system is like cracked, totally cracked. This whole banking system. What's happening with the banks, and what solves it? Cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency solves it. That's right. That's what we're talking about here. So welcome on a Thursday night. We are talking about the Fed rate hike, still trying to battle inflation. Not going to save the banks. The banks are going under one by one, by one, by one. What else could the Fed do? They can't. They can print more money and they can raise or lower interest rates. That's all they can do. And so raised interest rates again, and we'll see what happens with the banks. More bank stocks were plunging today, more banks in trouble. But crypto's doing okay. Kind of going sideways, not really exciting, but it's not dropping either. So, well, most crypto, some are, and then some are still taking off, like this Pepe token. Unbelievable, still going up. So we'll be talking about all of that here. Welcome. Let me drop down here into the corner here so we can see the chart nice and big. Here's Dogecoin at 782. 782, yeah, not great, but not bad. I mean, look at the volume. The volume is like practically non-existent. There's like nothing going on. Nothing going on. Just there was a little bit of a spike here a little earlier this afternoon. Doge kind of went up and came right back down. That was like the trade of the day for Dogecoin. Bitcoin hanging around right below 29K. Still not that exciting. Hedera, a little bit of a recovery, but still, yeah, still under 6 cents. So not doing great. SHIB, under 10 cents. Low volume, just kind of barcoding here, just not doing much. So it's a pretty quiet night overall. Pretty quiet night. Unless you're talking about Pepe. What the heck? 229. Talked about Pepe a week ago and it was like 25. 200. It just went up to 236. Craziness. Absolute craziness. Pepe. I don't buy these tokens anymore. I don't buy ERC20 tokens. I don't buy BSC tokens. So I am not in this. I'm waiting for SHIB, waiting for Doge. Those are my meme coins, meme tokens that I'm invested in, waiting for that to take off, which it will someday. Right now, all eyes on Pepe. Unbelievable. Just people just keep buying this thing. Don't know who the devs are. We know there are wallets that have been continually selling from the first day as this thing goes up. So they're making money. And some people who bought in early, been cashing out, they're making money. I'd hate to think people buying right now, though, are going to be stuck with big bags because that could happen. I don't know. People still buying it. Just like when SHIB was going way up, right? People just kept buying it, going up. But there's a lot of people who are underwater on SHIB. And the same thing's going to happen with Pepe, but what's that number going to be? Where is the top going to be? It keeps going up. We don't know. Craziness. And you've got Gala. Gala's selling off. I sold my Gala because they're going to be updating to some version 2 and version 1. If you hold it in certain types of wallets, you'll get airdropped version 2. But if you don't, if it's sitting on an exchange, you're not going to get the airdrop. People don't want to mess with that stuff, and they're just selling. So I sold mine right there. That's where I sold my Gala. Saw that spike there, and I said, okay, I am out. Sold at 37.77. And look what it's done since then, just dropping. I didn't sell Stacks. And I don't know what's happening with Stacks and why it's selling off. I gotta get more into what's going on there. What's the deal with Stacks? Maybe it's in the same kind of thing. I don't know, but this is not a good chart. Not a good chart. But that's what happens with altcoins, right? You don't know. You don't know. So, but a gala party, Ron? Yeah. You know, I bought into Gala thinking, hey, maybe this is going to be one of those altcoins that could go on a run, and it's like they're playing this crap. I'm going to wait for V2. That's supposed to come out in another week and a half. We'll see what happens after that, and if that's something I want to get back into, I don't know. But I'm keeping a little more cash on the side because we could be seeing some dips coming up. Another we're going to talk about a little bit. So what do we have? We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge. There was a quick rise after the Fed rate hike, and there are some people who are betting that it's going to go up a little more. 32K target for Bitcoin. Maybe there was initial decline after the rate hike, and then everything rebounded and started going up. So we had that going on. And the stock market dipped on Wednesday. And then again today, it dipped again. The Dow down another 200 points. And NASDAQ a little down, S&P a little up. But overall, down. Because of why? Well, we've got these we've got these banks, right? Let's see what this guy says here. Yeah, they're looking at charts, and they're doing TA on charts here, thinking that 25K region could be some liquidity down here, that Bitcoin could come down and retest. And then Captain Fabic is bullish, and he's looking at this upward resistance line and Bitcoin coming up and hitting it at 32.8. I don't believe that's going to happen. I think we're in sideways trading here, still kind of a bearish sentiment in the market. We're in this retest year, if you believe in the 4-year cycles, and we're going to see some up and down. So I'm waiting for the next dip. I still have about 10% cash on the sidelines. And yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But that's what this guy's looking at. Bitcoin hovers below 29K amid US regional bank stock crash and latest Fed rate hike. So yeah, you've seen in the news about the banks. Pac West down 67%. I mean, these are stocks. These aren't cryptos. These are stocks. This is just this week, down 67%. Home Street down 48%. First Horizon down 47%. Metropolitan Bank down 40%. First Foundation down 35%. Western Alliance down 34%. I don't think you guys are in any bank stocks, so if you're investing in cryptocurrency, you're not investing in bank stocks, most likely. You might have some if you own, some mutual funds or something that might carry some bank stocks in it. don't know, but yeah, the bank stocks going down, especially these medium-sized regional banks. They just, and there's word maybe they're trying to sell, they kind of put the word out, and then people call them on and they say, no, we're not selling, we're fine. And their stock is just plunging. So what's next for crypto after this interest rate decision? That's what we want to know, right? What's next? Well, you can look at the charts, you can do all the TA you want, but in the end, it's going to come down to the news and what the fallout is. What is the effect, not just on banks. I mean, I think that's actually helping cryptocurrency, that the banks are experiencing this pain. And we've seen Bitcoin and other cryptos be very resilient through all of the bank turmoil, because Bitcoin store of value, most other cryptos trading along with Bitcoin. So that's good. That shows some solidity in the crypto market overall. But there's nothing right now that's going to cause, I think, crypto to go on this huge bull run, except for the Pepe meme token, and people are having fun with that. And we talked about that the other night. On Tuesday night, we were talking about the meme coin, meme token wars. And I think that's kind of hurt Doge and Sheeb some, because there's all this excitement about Pepe and Wojak and some of these other tokens that have been taken off. And so a lot of these, the funds you can risk, right? Because you shouldn't be buying those with your rent money, right? This is all money that you're willing to risk and willing to lose if it all goes to zero, right? That's what you put into crypto, and especially those tokens. And some people didn't want to miss out on Pepe, so they were selling Doge, they were selling Sheeb. And I think more Sheeb than Doge, actually, from what I can see. And buying into Pepe. We'll see how long that run goes. The rate hike had been widely anticipated by the market. Markets being forward-looking, right? Already thought that there was going to be another 25 basis point hike. That's what I've been talking about for a month, that was most likely what was going to happen. And that was all priced in. What did we see when it was announced yesterday? Saw a little dip, came right back up, and now we go sideways again. It's like nothing ever happened. Sentiment in the crypto space arguably got a modest boost after the Fed softened its guidance by removing a reference to the need for further tightening. Well, they had already kind of said that the May one was probably going to be the last one, and then they were going to probably hold steady. And they might hold steady till the rest of the year. We don't know. As U.S. data continues to point to an economic slowdown, notably job openings tanked, and as bank crisis concerns bubble with more regional U.S. banks seemingly on the verge of going under, markets are increasingly betting on interest rate cuts in the second half of 2023. I don't see anything about interest rate cuts happening yet. A lot of people talking about it, but when I look at it, I'm like, they're not going to be cutting yet. We're going to be here between 5 and 5.25, and this is what we're going to see throughout the summer and at least into the fall. And the Fed is just going to, we've done what we can do. Let the rest play out, regardless of what happens with the banks. They're not going to start cutting rates to help the banks. They just raise the rates. So it's going to level out, see what happens with a recession. Yes, still talking about a recession in the fall. And then they're just going to leave it. That's what I think. So I think we're going to see some pain because the markets are starting to price in this probability of cuts. According to CMA's Fed Watch tool, the money market implied probability that interest rates will be cut by at least 100 basis points from current levels by December is at 68%. I think there's going to be some pain in the market because of that, because I don't think that that's going to happen. And everyone can look back and say, hey, Kriss said, what is with the date today? May 4th. Hey, may the 4th be with you too. Happy Star Wars Day. I forgot about that. Well, forgot about it tonight. This morning I tweeted about it. That was funny. But I don't think there's going to be these huge cuts people are talking about. Now we've got this, the debt crisis, this debt ceiling crisis. That's going to be politics. That's going to play out. In the end, the 11th hour, they're going to raise it. But they're going to do their politics thing right up to the end. That most likely is going to happen. That's going to be a little painful in the markets. What's next for crypto prices? Though crypto prices remain locked within recent ranges for now, analysts are unsurprisingly predicting the prices are about to burst higher. Bets on easier policy ahead from the Fed, for example, lower interest rates, higher liquidity, have historically boosted crypto prices. Bitcoin and Ethereum are both currently consolidating with pennant structures, so kind of squeezing in, that have formed over the last few weeks. But they're talking about these things going higher, and I'm sitting with a bunch of cash on the sidelines, and I'm waiting it out because I think that we're going to be some dips. Am I bearish? I'm slightly bearish. I don't think there's going to be a huge dump. Bitcoin isn't going down back to 15K, not that kind of thing. But there's going to be some dips. There's going to be some buying opportunities. I've got some cash on the sidelines waiting. I've got a lot of other cash that was already deployed into crypto, and I'm down on some of it, but up on a lot more. Overall, I'm still up for the year. Got in a little late on a couple things, like the stacks thing I talked about earlier, a little late on that, but that's what we see. Dogecoin price prediction. Can Pepe coin dethrone Doge? Well, I don't think that's really fair. Again, people I talk to, people I see, especially in the Dogecoin community, they're not buying Pepe. There are some that are buying Pepe, just kind of, threw $100 at it or something just to see what happens. And they're up on that $100. Maybe that 100 turned into 1,000. Great. Good for you. That's not going to move the market, though. That's not going to move the needle. Doge is going to do Doge's thing. If you're into Doge, you're into Doge because of what Dogecoin is as a currency, with everything Elon Musk is doing, and has nothing to do with Pepe. But SHIB, however, SHIB rests alongside Doge, with investors showing lack of interest right now. That's right, lack of interest, particularly with SHIB, because SHIB is going through this, sort of beta thing of the Shibarium. Not a lot going on. They're not burning a lot of tokens. And because a lot of people own SHIB within that ERC20, community there, particularly on Uniswap, we do see a lot of SHIB selling to buy into Pepe or Wojak. And that's what we see on the price, particularly Pepe. They wanted to get in on it, and so they're sacrificing their SHIB to get in on Pepe, because that's all within that. Bull Run did a 10x. Hey, good for you. Yep. Did you sell SHIB to buy your Pepe and Wojak, or was that extra cash you had sitting there to, extra ETH you had waiting to buy in on those? Like to hear what you say about that. But I don't think there's a lot of selling of Dogecoin to buy into Pepe. So extra cash. Well, see, it's good to have some extra cash lying around, right? If you throw it all into the market, then when something else comes along you want to get into, that means you got to sell something that you think is going to go up, and you're like, I don't want to sell that. But people do. So for those that sold SHIB and then buy into Pepe, go on a little run with your Pepe, sell off for this 10x, 15x gain, whatever it is. think of how many more sheep tokens you can buy back, even at a lower price, because sheep's been going down a little bit. So that's not a bad deal. Sergio sold some Doge. You just ruined my whole scenario here. You sold Doge. Oh, yeah. Well, yep, it's been happening. So, because Doge isn't running right now, Sheep isn't running right now, but Pepe and Wojak are. So, craziness. Yep. We got Solana. Still don't know what's going on with Solana, but Billy Marcus was criticizing Solana today. And there's been a lot of talk about Solana. The Solana maxis are getting very defensive about, and I even responded to a tweet today about Solana because James had tweeted. James is like always talking about Solana on Invest Answers. And I was like, he's just saying Solana's like got the most use, but there's all this talk about bots, on the Solana blockchain. And so I tweeted about that, and somebody was very defensive and saying, "Oh, those bots, that was when they were minting NFTs, and that's not what's going on now." But there's still a lot of bots, it looks like, still on the Solana. And Solana hasn't proven that it's got a strong and steady blockchain yet. So, but it's still a number 10 cryptocurrency, and it could move back up again. Now that all this FTX FUD is back behind it. So we'll see about that. And then just the other article I have here is this old OG Dogecoin wallet had 1.5 million Dogecoins that were bought back in the end of 2013 and early 2014, right when Doge started. Just transferred some of their Doge after 9+ years. They were holding on to this Doge. They bought back in 2013 on December 6th. Oh, that's when Doge launched. They bought 300,000 Doge, which was worth about $117 at the time. And then 300,000 more. But then the price of Doge went down. And so that 600,000 Doge was then only worth $95. There was a lot of volatility at first when Doge was trading. But then they sold it. They ended up with this profit of $40. And then they bought a bunch back in. On the 14th of January, they bought 550,000 coins. And then they bought 1 million coins for 1,230. And then that was it. And then they just sat. So what happened? Why would you stop your trading at the end of January 2014 and then not touch it for 9 years? And now all of a sudden there's some of these coins are moving around. There were two transfers that happened. Kind of interesting. But no one knows why, and the wallets that these were transferred to aren't known to be for any exchanges. So kind of curious what's going on. Again, even if they sold 1 million Doge selling, that's not enough to really move the markets, by any great amount. But it's just interesting that someone was buying, a crap ton of Dogecoin back right after it launched, and then had it just sitting in a wallet, waiting. Kind of interesting. But that's the news. We're just going sideways here. Here's Bitcoin, just below 29,000. Dogecoin just barcoding right here at 780, between 780 and 784, just sideways. And that's kind of where we are right now. It's kind of where we are. Jason bought Sergio's Dogecoin. That's good. Hey, JH. Yeah, I was on. I was watching Rob on Digital Asset News. Yep, I check in on Rob every now and then. So, yep. Hate the gas fees. Yeah. Bull Run says not touching any of my altcoins and other investments for meme coins. Only new cash coming in for those tokens. Again, only invest what you're willing to lose. You don't know. And of course, To the Moon says, hate the gas fees. Yep. I know. When you buy and sell Doge, though, the fees are next to nothing for Doge. But yeah, getting into Uniswap and then swapping your ETH over, that can be pricey. So these gas fees, I think a few days ago they even raised gas fees to slow down Pepe. I think it was just they weren't raising it. It raises itself because of all of the activity on the blockchain because of Pepe. That's what was happening. So Doge to $3 very soon, or I'm bored out of my mind. Yep. It's going to be a while, DM. It's going to be a little while. Just waiting. Just kind of waiting. But you got to be patient, though. I mean, you sell Doge at 7 cents now. You know, and a month later, it's at 20 cents because it just takes off and you're not in it because you sold. I'm not willing to risk that. So I've got my 2 million Doge now, and it's just sitting there, and I'm not touching it. If there's a dip, I'll probably buy a little more. Because I have some in another wallet that I can use for currency, for tipping, other things like that, because all that excitement is going to start up again sometime soon. And maybe I want to add to that and leave my 2 million Doge stash alone as it just kind of waits for the big rocket ship to the moon. That's what I'm waiting for. But yeah, so I've been accumulating the past few months. And like I said earlier, I'm up on some of it, down on some of it. Got out of Gala. We'll see what happens with Gala. I'm still in Stacks. We'll see if Stacks turns around. Jasmy has been up. I've done very well on Jasmy, but Jasmy is going to go much, much higher. For those who are wondering about Jasmy, some consider Jasmy to be meme-ish. This is the 4-hour. And so this is where I bought my Jasmy down here at 0.0046. It's where I bought Jasmy. This was my second round of buying. I'd already bought some and sold some before. It's not on this chart. It's on my other chart. And so this Jasmy is already up from this part. That's up over 50% on that. I know it's not your 10x on Pepe Bull Run. I know that. But I can have my fun with my Jasmy while you're enjoying your Pepe. Right? But Jasmy's been doing great. And I've got like 2 million Jasmy. So enjoying the run on Jasmy. That's been doing well. But Pepe, it just goes up. I mean, look at this chart. When I was first talking about Pepe here back in April, it was trading around 24, 25. And on one of my live streams, we were talking about it. It was right in this level. Went on a first run, then kind of balanced out. And now it's going on that second run. And that's what we saw with Sheeb too. Sheeb did the same exact thing, except this initial run, this initial amount for Sheeb was almost a year long. And Pepe did it in a week. What took Sheeb a year to finally take off. But that's what happened is Sheeb did the same thing. It took off, profit taking, dipped down a bit, and then it got this second wave and just skyrocket. I mean, look at that chart. Unbelievable. But people still buying in. They're still buying in. We do have a little bit of a decrease here happening with volume. So that I'd be a little concerned about as the volume goes down, that people are going to start taking some profits up here, like big profits. That could happen. Definitely on the RSI here, oversold. But then it was oversold in here too. And it took off again. But that's the kind of thing that, you know, you can look at the charts on and say, where do you say enough is enough? I'm good with my profits on this, and I'm going to get out. Depends on how much you've put in. It depends on what your goals are. Are you looking to change your life? Like if you put like thousands of dollars into this and now you're up tens of thousands, 20s, 50,000, then you're talking, there's some serious cash there. Of course, the ones who are making millions are the ones who got in, you know, way back here when Pepe was, you know, first launched. The devs, friends of devs, you know, that bought a bunch of it when there was hardly any liquidity. And there are some wallets that have been selling. They were selling here, 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 selling here. And they do all of that selling, little bits at a time. That's the slow rug. But because there's so many more people buying, the price isn't going down yet. So it is a lot like Sheeb. But if you recall what happened to Sheeb, right? And we've looked at this before. Eventually Sheeb gave out, right? That's what Sheeb did. Same kind of thing, right? Sideways, it went up. Sheeb went up. It did a little kind of down action and then took off, right? It's exactly what Sheeb did. And then from there, it has been down, 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 down. And this is a very typical chart you'll see for most tokens that take off at some point in time. And Pepe will probably look like this in another few months. It'll look just like this. So where is that point where you're saying enough's enough? People were buying Sheeb at 60, 70, 75, all up in here. People were buying it. And they're the ones who ended up holding the bag as all the big whale, you know, selling was going on. Thinking, oh, it'll go back. It'll come right back up. And then it didn't. So that's what you have to look for on Pepe. Because the Pepe chart is straight up right now, just like that, just like that Sheeb chart was. Could it go to 300, 400? Sure. This volume ticks up again a little more, and there's a little push that comes in and pushes it up a little higher. That could happen. I'm not going to discount that. I mean, we saw it with Sheeb, how much it went up. But eventually, at some point in time, it's going to come crashing down. So be careful out there. That's what I say. Be careful out there. We got a little movement going on right now in the markets. We got Bitcoin. Look at this nice big green candle here on the 15-minute coming up. We got Doge. Nice little green candle coming up. So this is good. Got a little movement going on. So that's good to see. Eric asks, when will the first rate cut be? Not until the fall, I think. I don't think we're going to be seeing rate cuts happening over the summer like some people are already saying. The Fed's just going to let it ride. And I'm in the minority saying that. But I saw what happened in 2008. I was in stocks then and was around for that banking crisis. And that wasn't pretty. But they don't raise rates up and then immediately turn around and start cutting. The Fed doesn't act that way. So it's going to let it go and slide into the recession. And there's going to be a recession, whether it's mild, like they say, or not. Could be deeper. Then they'll start. Then they'll start cutting. But that it's not going to be for a while. That's Chris's take on it. Algorand starting to finally come back from the depths. That's good to see. Solana, big green candle. Got to move back up. Yeah, little dumpage this morning. So trying to recover a bit there. Doge trying to get, or a sheep trying to get back up to 10. Now at 992. So that's good to see. Pepe at 227. Unbelievable. How many more banks do I think will collapse? A handful. I think we're going to see a handful. And they're going to find, FDIC is going to find a way to get, the JP Morgans and others to sort of buy them out so they're not like completely collapsing. But yeah, that's all money that was there, through all of all the money printing that was happening because of the pandemic, all the stimulus checks that were being sent out to people. People were putting a lot of this money that they were getting into the bank. So the banks were flush with all of this cash. But banks just don't keep all the money, right? They don't just hold it for you, right? They go out and they invest it, right? They get these, treasury bills and mortgage-backed securities and all of that. And they just had all this money. But those all come at certain rates. And the rates at that time, like right now, this borrowing rate at 5 to 5.25%. Well, do you know what the rate was back 2 years ago? It was 0 to 0.25 is what it was. Practically zero. And so the banks were buying mortgage-backed, securities for like 1.25%, 1.5% long term. Well, what happens when now the borrowing rate is 5 and they're sitting with these long-term 1.25%, 1.5% mortgage-backed securities? Losing money is what they're doing. They're losing money. And with all the cash stuck in there, you go to your bank and you say, I want to withdraw my, $250,000. And the bank says, ooh, we don't have it. Because they don't have 250, right? Just sitting right there. They got to sell something. But they're going to sell this 1.75, 1.5% mortgage-backed security for a huge loss in order to give you your money because you're withdrawing. And then word gets out, then more people start lining up at the bank. I want to take my money out. I want to take my money out. That's how the banks go under. So yeah. We're going to see more banks, more of these regional banks, because they were all doing it. They were all flush with money, and they all deployed it in kind of the same way. Yeah, Janice, I don't think the housing market is as bad because the mortgages weren't being given out as freely lately as they were back in 2007, 2008, because that's what a lot of the banking crisis was back. The global financial crisis then was a large part of it was around housing, and that's not what's happening now. With mortgage rates going up as high as they are, that certainly slows down the housing market. And we see that in the United States and most of the country, we're seeing a stagnant housing market. But in Boston here, houses still selling, some a little bit under ask, but some are over ask. There's still some bidding going on with certain properties at certain price points in and around Boston. Even if mortgages are as high as 6-7% now, instead of the 3.5% you could have gotten a year ago. That's just how it is. But a lot of the country isn't seeing that same thing. They're seeing a really stagnant market. And that's hurting a lot of realtors. And you do have a lot of banks that still have these low interest mortgages, and they're trying to trade them and sell them, and nobody can afford them because mortgages are now up at 7%. So there's some of that going on. Look at that Bitcoin candle. Yeah, keep going up. Yeah. Look at that. Keep going up. We like that. That's good to see. See, Bitcoin can be just like Pepe, right? Just like Pepe. Craziness in the crypto market, right? Yeah, keep going, Bitcoin. Yeah, keep going. Keep going up here. Come on, up. Yeah, you like that, right? That's what's fun about doing these lives versus just doing videos like I was doing before. I had to go back and do some videos before that were just because my schedule, I couldn't do these live streams. So I did a few of those, and now I'm back live again as much as I can. But yeah, let's see. Come on. Up. Come on. Come on, Bitcoin. Yeah, let's go. Up. Trying to have some fun here. Where's Doge? Doge still down here. Come on, Doge. Doge is still sleeping. What else is moving? We got Cardano moving up a little bit. We've got Avalanche moving up a little bit. Not much else. Hey, Stacks, come on. Yep, maybe that was the low for Stacks right there at 74 cents. Hopefully, turn that Stacks around. I don't know if you heard my take on Gala earlier, Bull Run. Talked about that closer to the beginning of the stream. And I got out of Gala. But I'm still holding on to Stacks. But yeah, this is good. Come on, Bitcoin, let's go. That's good. Bitcoin goes up and most all other cryptos go up with it. For those that don't follow me on Twitter, please do. I'm at ChrissPax on Twitter. And this is my May the 4th be with you post from earlier today. Just having a lot of fun. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's right here. You can hit that subscribe below, and you can also hit the like button just below as well. Give this a like, subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Appreciate the support. Just trying to have some fun here. Give you the news that I think is interesting, my views in crypto markets and financial markets. And we try and have some fun. Talk a lot about Doge. Doge just did a little jump right here. Look at that. Look at that jump just happened right there. See if Doge can get up to 8 cents. Might be a good target. Get back up over 8 cents. That'll be a good start for Doge. So despite being in the sort of retest year in the 4-year cycles that I've talked about, there's going to be some ups and downs. But still, I'll root for more ups than downs. That would be good. That would be good. Well, Pepe just keeps going up to 228 now. If you started selling out of some of your Pepe there, Bull Run, or are you still holding on for more gains? What's your target? Because this is crazy. Absolute craziness. Jasmine going up. It'd be nice if Jasmine got back up over a penny. That would be nice. Very soon. Pepe back at 229. It could hit another all-time high here. You're going to ride the train as long as you can. Hopefully another 10x. So DM, you got to get on Uniswap. Got to have some ETH. And that's where you buy these ERC20 tokens. That's where most of them are launched. So what you can do is you can go into CoinMarketCap here, and then you can search on your token. And let's just do this. Pepe, right? Here's Pepe. You look on the Pepe page, and then you scroll down, and at the bottom of the page, and this is for every coin or token that's listed on CoinMarketCap, they will list all the places you can buy that token. And they usually rank them by volume. So Uniswap V2 and Uniswap V3 are where most of the Pepe action is happening. However, you can also now buy Pepe on OKX, Gate.io, Huobi, Polynex, BitGet, MEXC, CoinX, LBank, BKEX. You can now buy it on PancakeSwap. They've got an Ethereum V3, Bitmart, Nova. Then there's all these tiny little exchanges, right, that have very low liquidity. But you can buy it on some of these as well. These are not the major. It's not on Binance. It's not on Coinbase. But these are these smaller exchanges. most not based in the United States, because they don't want to deal with the US rules, right? They don't want the SEC coming knocking on their door and fining them huge amounts. I think Tom Crow, he's been trading on MEXC, is where he's been, or Tom Crown, that's where he's been trading his Pepe, if you see any of his streams that he's been on. But you can do this for any token, and you can see where it's trading. So if we wanted to look at Wojak, right, because that's the other one that's been going on, right? It's Wojak. Because it's been crazy. Here's the 1 month Wojak. Whoosh. It's got a double top on Wojak because it's taking off. And where's Wojak being traded? Uniswap, Gate.io, Huobi, BitGet. So that's where, so you just go into coinmarketcap.com and then search on your coin or token, and then scroll down and you can see the markets where it's trading. I mean, it's just like, even like Dogecoin, you can go to Dogecoin and it'll tell you all the markets where Dogecoin is being traded. And it's usually by liquidity. So Binance is the #1 liquidity for Doge. It's got 16% of the overall volume of trading right now over the past 24 hours. And then Coinbase is #2. And this is the trading pair of Doge to Tether. You can also do the trading pair of Doge to BUSD. And then they've got Doge to BTC, Doge to the Euro, Doge to GBP. So Binance is like, here's SHIB to Doge. People are trading SHIB and Doge on Binance. And eventually down here, you get to Binance.us, but it is way down because Binance itself has, here's Binance.us right here, Doge to USD. It's 74th in volume. It's way down here. It just shows you how much trading goes on worldwide with Doge on Binance. So Jack just bought some more SHIB at under 10. Very good. I think you do very good with that SHIB. SHIB is going to go on a run. Oh, somebody just sold a bunch of Pepe there. Just sold a bunch of Pepe at 229. And where's your SHIB at there, Jack? SHIB just hit 10. It just made it to 10. Here's my SHIB line right here at 1012. So I'm a little bit down on my SHIB stack, but that's my average, is where this light blue line is. And you still got your Jasmy? Yep, I got my Jasmy stash. So I'm waiting on those. They'll take a little longer. They're not going to do a Pepe run anytime soon, but that's okay. I got time. And we'll see where Pepe is when SHIB and Doge and Jasmy do their runs. I'll bet it's inverted. Just saying. I'll bet it's inverted. Doge up to 792. That's good. Doge was good down here. Let's see if it can just trade up here now between 792 and 8 cents. That'd be good. All right, gang. That's what we're going on tonight. That's we'll end on a good note here in the green. And we'll be checking and seeing how things trade tomorrow. Again, tomorrow night I won't be on, but I will be on Saturday. So we'll see how the weekend is looking, like halfway through. And we'll see whether Pepe is still going up. And then what's happening with Bitcoin, Doge, Ethereum, and others. We'll talk about all of that on Saturday. So hope to see you then. Until then, appreciate all the support. Be sure to like and subscribe. Always appreciate that support as well. I'll be starting to do more on Patreon. If you want to join my Patreon, I got a link in the description below there. And as I said earlier, join me on Twitter as well, because we're going to have fun as we get through what I think is this retest year, and just building and accumulating for the next big crypto bull run that is eventually going to happen, most likely before the Bitcoin halving now about 11 months from now. So that's kind of the timeline that we're talking about. We'll continue to talk about that as well. So everyone have a good evening or morning or whatever, wherever you are, and we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.